What up team? Welcome to this video on how to create a $500 website with no coding knowledge at all. Essentially, we're using Framer to do this, and if you've not heard of Framer, it's a great tool for people who love to think visually and to create things visually. So if you want to make a website, you can basically just design it. It'll be animated, it'll be mobile responsive, and it'll just work. And you can publish it super fast, so you can show clients very quickly what you're working on, how it's going. It's an amazing tool. So this is it right here. This is Framer. There's obviously guides and tutorials on how to use it, but it's just very straightforward. And the cool thing is, if you do know CSS, it obviously makes it better. But just look at some of the cool websites that you can create very quickly. And in fact, we're going to go and create a website ourselves, and then I'll show you how you could go and sell it yourself. And you can see what some other people are doing and some of the other websites other people are making as well. I mean, these are amazing, but we are going to learn how to use Framer on the very basic of levels, and you can create your own test website and even make a website for a client and make $500 yourself potentially. So this is the dashboard in Framer. Once you sign up and log in, this is what you'll be presented with. Now, in the top right corner, if you go to New Project and click the button there, you can basically just start working on a new project. You'll be given a blank canvas. Now, you can ask or be asked what your desktop breakpoint is. Now, that's the point at which it goes from desktop to tablet and so on. So basically, it's like the breakpoint of what it considers desktop. Usually, it's 1,200 pixels. Some people have it as 1,600. Everybody's different. But the first thing we want to do is go over to this pages section here on the left, so you can see it here, pages. We'll click plus here. So in the top left corner, just to give you an idea of what's going on, you've got your insert, which you can insert sections, navigation, menus, pages, and all sorts of stuff. You can even put in images, videos, YouTube links, forms, which if you were trying to code this, it would probably take quite a bit of knowledge. But the idea is to be very quick, to have a high turnover, because there's a lot of clients out there who just want quick websites being made. So this is catering for those people who just want quick websites made very simply. So let's just take some kind of page here, some kind of design, and we'll just get started. So I'll tell you what, let's start with this one. So we'll click add page, and this will just automatically populate this canvas with this website. And this is a great starting point. So you can see that we've got the website pretty much. And these are all the building blocks. You can move around, you can change it, you can change the layout, but you've got stuff to work with. And especially if you're new to Framer, this is a great way to get started. Eventually, you'll be able to move it around, do it yourself. But for now, it's really good to use templates to just kind of get started. Now, one thing that we do need is a header, because we don't have a header here. So we're going to go to insert again. We're going to go to navigation, and we're going to choose a header. So I'm going to choose this dark one here. So we'll go bring it over. And I think that contrasts really nicely. So it's all a white and black theme. And that's a dark header. Now I want to change this logo to one of my own. So we'll go into the header component and click that. And all I do is I just double left click it. And then I'm on my logo here. So I'll double left click it. And I think what I'll do is I'll just delete it and insert my own. So I'll insert media and go to image. And then I'll just make this a little bit smaller. And then I'll pop this over here and just put this over here. Delete that. Okay, move this over a bit. And then I'm going to double left click it, and then you'll get this option in the bottom right. So choose an image, which we will, and I will insert this logo, and I think we'll leave it like that for now. Okay, so we can see it's a little bit messed up, so we'll double left click it again, and instead of fill, we'll go to fit. There we go, that works a lot better. And then we'll just drag this across a bit. Right, so let's go to the home page and see what it looks like. There we go, I like that. Yeah. That's not too bad. That's our logo right there. Let me just make it a little bit smaller. Yeah, so 90 by 40. You can always, obviously, if you left click this, you can manually change all these details here, which is great. And if you're into CSS, you can add some padding, you can do some other things, you could add some animations. But for the most part, that's fine. We're going to work on the rest of the site. So let's go back here. So we've got the landing page, but we'll call it whatever we want. So I'll say, welcome to front end now, something like that. And then we'll just change this image. So let's change this image here. And let's choose a very questionable picture of me. And we'll set that to fit. Excellent. So already customized this bit. Go from design to site. We'll leave the text and we'll just start changing some of the colors around. So let's go down to here. We've got the color option here. So we'll click fill and we will go for a green, maybe. No, let's go for a blue. Why not? Let's keep on theme. So we'll grab this hex color. Oh, it says new style. So let's call this front end now blue. And we'll create that color there. And we'll close that down. So then if I go to all the buttons and I go to color and I click that and I click front end now blue, it just automatically changes it. And I go here and do the same. There we go. And we'll do the same here as well. So that's done. So now we've got all those buttons changed. I'm happy with that. Sign up today. Yep. Change this to front end now. Oh, not 2024. That's probably when this theme was created. You can put whatever you want in here. And there we go. Right. So for the most part, that is the, the site. You can obviously change this menu if you want to whatever the client needs. So you might not need all these options. So you might just want services, about, and then maybe team. I don't know, whatever the client wants really. And then we have that. We go to home. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. And what if you want this sort of like spaced out between each other? And what if you also want a little bit of padding on the outside? Because right now this text is right up on the edge, which is obviously no good. So if I click that and click the overall thing there, what I might want to do is add just some padding right. So I'll open this up. I'll open this so I can choose all the sides. So on the right here, because there's an R here, I will say 40. There we go. So now there's 40 pixels of padding on the right. And I think that looks a lot better. So if I go to the home now, there we go. That's a lot more aligned. And let's go. Let's see what else we can put in. So let's go to insert and we can put in a form. So if you go down here, there's a sign up today. Well, let's add a contact form. So we'll just put this here. So something like that. Maybe we'll get rid of this button. So people can sign up literally here and they can just submit it. So they don't have to go to another section. They could just do it here. So that works well. And then what we could do, let's just add a logo down here for fun. So let's put this logo here. And let's double left click this. And then on the right here where it says search, we'll go custom. And then I will go upload. So I'll choose a file. And I'll choose that logo. And what I'll do is I'll double left click this. It's currently set the radius to 100. We do not want that. Okay, so that kind of works. So there's obviously a little gap here, so let's figure out what this is. So there's a gap of 60. Let's reduce that. Let's do 40. Maybe we'll move this logo down here. And there we go. So I had to use the layer section to move it across, but generally that's okay. Now I'm fairly happy with this as just a simple website. You could obviously change this to do whatever you want. You can create links for different pages. So you go here. So all these menu items, you go to link. You can choose a page. So I've got certain pages on here. So you could link it with something you've created in here. So we could create an about page. Well, let's go to pages. We'll create a new page. And we'll call it about. And what we'll do is we'll just make it very simple. I'll say my name is Harry Ashton. This is front end now in Framer. What we want to do is take this header and paste it into here. So all I did was I copied and pasted it using the keyboard. So left click that, copy, Command C, can delete that, and then Command V here, which just pastes it in. And there we go. I want this to go to the top. Right, so let's reduce the size of this. So currently this is set to probably be in the center. Aha, so I've clicked on the background here and it says here align. So I'm just going to set it to the other way. So it's just going to go right to the top. It's gone a little too far up. Just change the height on this. So I'll just reduce the height on this. It's not so far off. Okay, so we'll set it to 50. I think I'm happy with that. So what I want to do is basically just publish this now. So I'll click publish. And I'll click publish here as well. And then it's giving me a link. So I'll click this link here. And there we go. That's our website. If we scroll down here, we can see everything's animated. Everything is as we made it with the buttons and everything and the colors. And if I check to see how responsive it is, let's make this smaller. You can see it's all moving around. The logos are moving. It's working very nicely. You don't really have to do much. And it's basically a website. You know, you can make it for your client however you want. But there you go. It's very, very easy to work with. Now, if you know CSS, well, obviously it's going to be a better time for you. But for the most part, you can drag and drop, add text here, swap things around, resize it, use things within this, archive of little components that they have that you can drag and drop in and move around, change colors. And for a basic brochure website, which the vast majority of clients on the low end will want, this is perfect. They even have a CMS, which is a content management system. So you can add a blog, they can add pages of their own. They can even go in themselves to Framer and edit this, which is perfect. That's what clients want. They want to be able to go in and change this text if they want to. They want to be able to go in and change this image if they want to. It's very simple to do and it's very straightforward. Now, once you've built this site like we have, so we've got a little website here. You can see yummy-copywriter, loads of numbers.framer.app. That's our URL. So if we wanted to send this to the client, I could copy this link, send it to them. They're like, what do you think? Do you like this? We can add a domain name if we want. But otherwise, to sell sites like this, you'd probably just go to Contra. And there's a lot of people selling these types of websites. So if I go into Contra, which is a very popular freelancing site, and I type in Framer Developer, I already typed it in, and you can see the type of websites people are creating with Framer. So for example, this is one. Someone created this in Framer, which is absolutely awesome. Like, look how cool that is, a video with animations and moving. You can also create, just simpler websites with a large image and some text. And people are doing some really cool stuff here. These are all beautiful sites. And you can get an idea of how much money people are making. So if I click Alex Vickner, who's a Framer designer and developer, he has made a lot of websites. And if we go on to his profile, go to About, you can see he charges $75 to $100 per hour, which is amazing. He's based in the Netherlands, but you can get people from all over the world here. He's got his hours, and $75 to $100 per hour. $80 per hour, for context, if you worked full time, is $140,000 per year. So $100 or $75 to $100. You can even imagine what those numbers are. Hashtag maths. But yeah, you can use sites like Fiverr. You can use sites like People Per Hour. So if you were doing this, I would suggest Contra, Fiverr, People Per Hour, and obviously Upwork. Where are we? There we go. Upwork is an amazing place to find clients for this and bid for projects. And making it in Framer makes you more competitive, makes you faster. There's so much good work out there that you can make sites just like this. So there's a lot of scope to do well with Framer. And the key point is, as you saw, it was very, very quick to make websites. And this is $500. If you can learn to make sites like this very quickly, it's $500. Obviously, these sites here, I would imagine they're charging a lot more than $500 for the kind of quality that we created here. Obviously, different logos, different images, you move things around for the clients. You could charge about 300 to 500 or more, 600 possibly. But these types of sites, let's go back. These types of sites here, well, you're talking thousands of dollars. And then when you're on sites like this, well, you're talking, again, thousands of dollars. There's a lot of potential here. Now, imagine if you did this several times a week. That's what we're talking about. So, Framer, amazing to get started. You don't need to know how to code at all, and it's completely free. Go have a play, go check it out. If you're looking to get into web freelancing, this is one of your best options to get started. So there we go. That is how to make $500 without any website knowledge with Framer.